Welcome to the 5-Minute Prime Podcast. Quick, actionable tips to master personal finance and real estate investing. In just 5 minutes a day, we'll help you build wealth and achieve financial freedom. Let's dive in. The median down payment in America just hit a 4-year low, 12.8%, $23,400. The 20% down assumption you've been carrying since the day you started thinking about homeownership? Dead in the fresh data. Hey, Prime investors, Martin Maxwell here. Welcome back to the 5-Minute Prime Podcast. Today, if a $50,000 windfall lands in your checking account this week, inheritance, signing bonus, equity vest, settlement, the framework for where it goes is 4 doors, and door number 1 almost always wins. The myth in the doors. Here's what the data actually shows. Realtor.com released their Q1 2026 down payment report about 3 weeks ago. The headline number, 12.8%, about $23,400 in dollar terms on the typical transaction. That is a 4-year low, down 19% year over year. Not because people decided 20% down was wrong, but because the people actually buying houses in 2026 are not putting that much down, and the median caught up to reality. Put it next to the national medians. Fred's median home sale price was $403,200 in Q1. FHA's 3.5% minimum on that is $14,112. On a more achievable $300,000 starter home, FHA minimum is $10,500. Conventional 3% down through Home Ready or Home Possible for a first-time buyer, $9,000 on the same starter. NAR's 2025 home buyer and seller profile. First-time buyers were 21% of all transactions last year, the lowest share since NAR began tracking the number in 1981. The constraint stopped being, do I have enough cash for the down payment? The constraint became, where else should this money live first? You don't need to figure this out tonight. You don't need a CPA to walk this with you on Monday morning either. Your benefits HR has the match data for free, and your CPA, if you have one yet, and most of you don't at this stage, and that's okay, handles the Roth and 529 paperwork. The framework is your job. The paperwork is theirs. Most of you have one door wide open you're not walking through yet. So, the framework, the 4 doors. Door number 1, employer 401k match, the only door with 100% return on day 1 when the match is on the table. Door number 2, HSA, only open if you're enrolled in a high-deductible health plan. Door number 3, down payment plus closing, what the windfall is sitting in checking for, in most people's mental model. Door number 4, Roth IRA, the always tax-free retirement door. Let me walk one realistic scenario through all 4 so you see the math and so you see which door I bet most listeners are leaving money on. The worked example. $50,000 through 4 doors the reader, 32 years old, married, $90,000 W-2 salary, currently saving 3% of pay into the 401k at work. That's the auto-enrollment default that 96% of Vanguard plans use. Employer match, 100% up to 4% of pay, $58,000 already saved in a high-yield savings account. PPO health plan, not HDHP. Never opened a Roth. The windfall, $50,000 just landed. Door number 1. The reader is currently deferring 3% on a $90,000 salary. That's $2,700 going into the 401k. The employer matches $2,700. So far, so good. Except the match maxes at 4% of pay, $3,600. By deferring only 3%, the reader is leaving $900 a year of free employer match money on the table. Every paycheck. Forever, until the deferral percentage changes. Bump the deferral from 3 to 4% on the benefits portal. Takes 7 minutes. That's a $900 raise the reader hasn't taken yet. Free. The windfall doesn't even fund this, payroll does, but you have to flip the switch. Here's the rule. Door number 1 always wins. When the match is on the table, no other dollar comes close to 100% return on day 1. Not Roth, not down payment, not HSA, not anything. Door number 2, HSA. Triple tax advantaged, pre-tax in, growth tax deferred, withdrawals for qualified medical tax-free. Only account in the U.S. tax code with all three. 2026 limits, 4,400 self-only, 8,750 family, plus 1,000 catch-up at 55. Door is closed for this reader. PPO enrollment blocks it. Most prepare stage listeners are on a PPO because PPOs feel safer when you're young and healthy. The HDHP plus HSA combo is one of the underused tax doors in personal finance. But it only opens at next open enrollment and only if you elect to switch. Not the Windfall's job, just a calendar item. Door number 3, down payment. The door the reader thinks comes first. Combined liquid after the windfall hits, $58,000 already saved, plus the $50,000 windfall equals $108,000 in liquid cash. Starter target, a $300,000 home in a Tier 2 metro. FHA cash to close on $300,000, $10,500 down, plus roughly $9,000 in closing costs, plus $500 in prepaids, about $20,000 all in. Reserve target, 5 months of household expenses at maybe $5,000 a month. Call it $25,000. So $20,000 for closing, $25,000 for reserves. The reader has more than enough for the down payment and the reserve. That's the insight the 20% down myth obscures. 108 minus 20 minus 25 leaves $63,000 for doors 4 and beyond. Door number 4, Roth IRA, always tax-free, limit for 2026, $7,500 per spouse. Married, filing jointly, both spouses contributing, $15,000 this year. Income phase-out for MFJ starts at $242,000. Well above this household's $90,000. Open and fund both Roths from the windfall before the deadline. After doors 3 and 4, about $10,000 left for the high-yield savings buffer or a 529 plan if kids are in the picture. One forward signal worth flagging. The FHFA director issued a directive earlier this year that crypto assets can count toward reserves on Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac loans. The seasoning rules are still being written. Don't take this as a green light for your windfall to land in crypto. The 5th door is being built. It's not operational yet. The education fork and the challenge. Before doors 3 and 4 absorb the whole windfall, one fork to check. NCES 2023 to 24 numbers. Public 2-year in-district tuition averages $4,072 per year. Public 4-year in-state $8,878 per year. If the windfall has any chance of being earmarked for the reader's own continuing education or a child's coming up, the 529 plan opens at $19,000 per donor per beneficiary, annual exclusion in 2026. That decision needs to be on the worksheet before doors 3 and 4 take the rest. Your challenge today. One number. Pull up last month's pay stub. 2 pieces of information you need: the percentage you're currently deferring into your 401k and the maximum match your employer offers. If you're not at the full match, and Vanguard's How America Saves data says most listeners are not, log into the benefits portal and bump the percentage tonight, tomorrow, before any windfall conversation gets to door 3. That's door number 1. Door number 1 always wins. The $50,000 decision can wait until the weekend. The match dollar costs you free money every paycheck you leave it on the table. Then what? When you sit down with the windfall on Saturday morning, walk all 4 doors in order. Match first. HSA, if eligible. Down payment after reserve. Roth IRA last. The remainder funds the HYSA or A529. Same framework every time, no matter the windfall amount. Next episode, this Thursday. The lock-in effect just hit a structural crossover for the first time in 5 years. The share of mortgages above 6% just passed the share below 3%. If you're house hunting, the market you're walking into has changed at the mortgage layer too. I'm Martin Maxwell. Keep learning, stay strategic, and keep building one step at a time.